How's it going, everybody? This is the Osmo.com NHL DFS Strategy Show, and we have a really nice, fun, jam-packed 12 gamer to talk about for today. So it's going to be busy. It's just going to be me today. We're having some technical difficulties elsewhere. One second. All right. It should go by pretty quick though, at least for me. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll talk about last night. Really weird slate last night. Like it seemed like no good players scored. When that's the case, probably things aren't going to go too well for me because I play a lot of chalk, as you guys know. What's up, C column 80? Yeah, my Tuesday's good. Tuesday's good. Been pretty busy morning and early afternoon, and hoping to end the day with a bink. And hopefully you guys can make some money as well. So it's been good. Thanks for asking. What do we got today? So let's start with Yahoo Daily Fantasy Sports. Always got to mention Yahoo right off the top of the show, and then we'll get to the giveaways. So reason why we like playing on Yahoo is because of the low management fees, at least me. So I've been playing this $12 quite a bit lately, and it's been going pretty well. So we don't yet have projections for Yahoo, but I think you're probably fine using the DraftKings or FanDuel projections. If you're using FC, McDavid scored, but yeah, I mean, he's not really human, so I don't really consider him a player, just more of a robot that scores goals and gets assists. Hannah and 2.5K on DK. We'll get to that in a minute. Boom. Lock that for sure. Yahoo Daily Fantasy Sports is our presenting sponsor. Go over and support them if you play NHL and you don't play a ton of volume, or even if you do and you're looking to get some additional dollars in the ecosystem. Yahoo is a great place to play. Promo code OSMO is how you get up to $30 in Yahoo Sports rewards points on your initial deposit. So told Cliffy I was going to play some golf yesterday. Probably going to enter in some of these tournaments. Noon lock for my time, 1 Eastern. I'm in Central Time Zone. I'm sure you guys are all over the place as well. So pretty nice golf contests. I'm looking at this $15, but actually, I'm not good at golf. So I'm probably going to drop down into these $3, $1, and 10 max some stuff and see where that gets me. NBA, I should be playing more NBA over on Yahoo. They've got some good tournaments, 7,500 to first in the $15 tonight. That's more than what we're gonna get for like the non-big NHL slates. That's like more than we're gonna get to first on any of the other main sites. Talking about DraftKings and FanDuel to first place at least. So Yahoo's NBA, always got good contests over there, and then NFL. Hard not to talk about NFL. Yahoo's done a great job of providing really good contests and lower management fees, and looks like they're going to keep riding it out until the end of the season, really, not just the regular season. So got another first place finish last night and took down 5K. It was NBA though. I got crushed in NHL. Yeah, it was. It wasn't a great night for me. I'm sure it was a great night for other people, but I was in the same boat. I don't play NBA, but congrats. Make sure you tell if you watched Laffy and Adam. I can't remember who was on live before lock last night, but make sure you tell those guys too. I know for those shows, the messages in the YouTube chat probably get lost in the shuffle because they have so many people watching. But yeah, man, that's pretty impressive. 5K. Nothing to sneeze at there. Cliffy was dialed in yesterday. Cliffy's always dialed in. Cliffy's a stud. So yeah, he just business as usual for him. We're actually going to review one of his lineups. Maybe we can review all three. So we'll do lineup study in just a second. We've got a couple promos going on. Promo code 2020, $20 for 20 days of all access Osmo Plus Platinum. You're going to want to take advantage of this if you have not signed up for us and you're looking to take the plunge. This goes away in a couple days, I think by Friday, this will be over. And same thing with the Happy New Year promo. So the promo code New Year, all one word, just like that, 20% off your first year of a Osmo Plus Platinum yearly package. So if you lock in for a year, you save $200 off the total value, which is pretty good. McKinnon lock, not for me, but we'll see. I'm sure some people will. Live blog. This, I believe, is supposed to be premium today. I'll tell Nolan about that, but he's having some computer troubles. Last I heard from him, his computer sounded like it was going to blow up. So that doesn't sound good. And I said, well, why don't I just do the stream today? And, you get that figured out. So we'll figure that out after the show. Osmo's NBA game plan live stream. If for whatever reason you're here and you're looking to hear some NBA analysis from the number one player in the world, well, that's not me. So you're going to want to go to that link that I just posted, Osmo's NBA game plan live stream. Get inside the number one player in DFS's head and see what he's thinking for tonight's slate. All right, last thing, and it's kind of a big thing before we get to lineup study. You are going to want to take advantage of this promo no matter what your status is as far as premium subscriber, you're just a free viewer, whatever. You can win a free Osmo Plus NHL yearly pass, $280 value. Just guess which player is going to score the most fantasy points on tonight's slate. Bunch of nice guesses here. Some I like, some I hope don't come true, but there's a ton to choose from tonight. So maybe don't take the guy that's been guessed 7 times. But if you want to tie with 8 other people and then take your chances in a tiebreaker, I suppose. Looks like a lot of people guessing Pasternak. Interesting. McKinnon, Yossi. Oh, man. I wouldn't mind if it's Yossi, but take advantage of that. I mean, there's no reason to not at least give that a try. It takes 5 seconds. You can win a $280 value NHL Osmo Plus pass. Come hang out with us in Slack. Yeah, not a lot of people guess goalies for this, which is weird. Like, if you guess the goalie with the outlier performance, he gets a shutout or the 35 save bonus and has a big game. It feels like goalies have won a lot. So, we'll see what happens here. But, once again, why not take advantage of that? Let's go to Cliffy's lineup in the forecheck. We can quick brush over the other tournaments. So, like you said, he was going to 3-max, and he did so. And one of his 3 was pretty close to the nuts. McDavid, Draisaitl, Clefbaum, Chason. I believe Chason, was he on the top power play? I don't even know. But anyways, Edmonton 4-man stack with Clefbaum, and he included Mike Smith, like he said he was going to do. A couple Mike Smith lineups out of his 3. Toffoli, Kopitar as his 2-man. If he would have taken his boy Iafallo, I think he maybe would have banked here instead of Toffoli. But no, I mean, great lineup all around. Sean Walker, 21.8 points. That was pretty big for me. I had the Sean Walker, Ben Sherratt duo going on in some of my lineups. So I was able to, not get completely crushed, which was nice. But great lineup here for Cliffy. Pretty impressive to do that in a 20 max, just 3 lineups. And he finished in second. So shout out to him. He was locked in, like some of you guys alluded to yesterday, as he always is. But the results definitely showed. B. Kreider took down the $40. Shocking. He only cashed 2 lineups, but there were a bunch of good players in this lineup. Did his, I think it's his, 3-2-1 with his 2 and 1 being from the same team. Engvall, Spezza, Matthews. He's done the 3-2-1 better than anyone this season. Thanks, Seth. I will take that as a compliment. Tell her thanks. You make her watch my streams, by the way? Like, jeez. What kind of husband are you? Wow. M. Kell, 324, took down the, what was this, a $15 yesterday. I forget they do this on Mondays. Real cashy looking lineup, but McDavid, Draisaitl, not Clefbaum, but Nurse, Morgan Riley, Foligno, Ehlers, Carter, Anders, Lee. So very little correlation outside of the Edmonton 3-man, but really not that much correlation in that. So maybe a cash build and took it down with 181.4. No one in his lineup really did like a ton. I mean, outside of McDavid, obviously, but like you're only seeing a handful of guys above 20 points. It was just a weird slate, but no one in his lineup killed him, which was the thing. A bunch of guys scored double digits, and then you got the 6 from Carter, who again ended up not killing him. So one lineup, cash build. It appears. Nice job. You guys are being funny today in chat. If you could drop us a like, I always forget to ask, but I remember today to ask for a like. That really helps us out for a number of reasons that we always talk about. So if you could do that, that would be fantastic. Let's talk about the slate. 45 minutes, 4 minutes a game. 47 minutes, 4 minutes a game. We could do that. Some games are brutal. People got to get to Coles or Target. So I'll try to be out of here at 5 Eastern. May go a couple minutes past, depending on how much I ramble. So let's do it. Canucks, Lightning, 2.7 implied total for the Canucks, 3.8 for the Lightning. Markstrom, Vasilevsky, those are your goalies. Stacked Tampa 1. Well, not that I'm going to stack them. I mean, yes, of course I'm going to stack Tampa 1, but I meant they are a pretty stacked top line. Point, Stamkos, Kucherov on the same line at 5-on-5. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. Their matchup isn't. It's not. I don't think it's going to be that great. Like I would guess, they spend a bunch of time against Pedersen, Miller, Besser, and that's a line I also really respect. So, I like Tampa 1. It's a huge total for them. Some places you're going to see him at over 4. Alex has him at 3.8 in his totals that he comes up with. And so, I like Tampa 1. I don't think that I'm going to be above the field on them, though. Like, I'll probably get to double digits on them. But with the ownerships we're showing, at least on DraftKings, they're going to be some of the highest owned skaters on the slate. So they're up there for me on a raw point basis. I certainly think you can make good lineups with them, and I'm definitely going to try to do that. But like if I was making one lineup, I don't think it would be Tampa 1, which a lot of people disagree with. It appears based on how chalky we have them being. And on the other side, like if you came here to listen to me swoon over Tampa 1, don't let me talk you off of them either. It's a huge slate. Like when I say chalky, we have Kucherov as the only guy above 20%. So if you're right and Tampa 1 is the number 1 stack, you're still knocking out 80% of the field, which is pretty good. No, boom. I'm going to have Tampa. I'm going to have Tampa 1. I just don't think I'm as high on them as the field is. Do you like parts of Vancouver? Not really. Pedersen, Miller, Besser is a good line. But I don't think I'm going to have much Vancouver at all. In fact, I ran a crunch like I normally would, and put in ownership and all that, and I don't think I got to any of this line. I got to a singular share of Edler out of 150. Playing my 150. I'm trying to mention that once a show, just so you guys kind of know my thought process going into the show. If you want to do Horvat, Edler, those are usually good peripheral guys, top power play, correlated. Probably going to be a 2-man that no one has. Yeah, there's something to be said for that, I'm sure. But as far as full stacks in a 150, Vancouver's not a team that I think I'm going to get to a lot. So it would be kind of annoying if this is the day that Vancouver 1 goes nuts after I've been playing them so much. But I'm okay, I think, going elsewhere. Don't really love the spot for them. It's a lot of Tampa 1 here for me. And then I kind of like the second line too. I think they're going a little bit under-owned. Not a lot of people looking like they're going to drop down, but good value with Cirelli, Palat, and Johnson. Just not the marquee line that the top line is. What position does Nemeth play? All-time GOAT? No, he's a D-man. I don't even know what his price is. Hedman's the very obvious guy that you go to with Tampa 1 if you can afford that. I also will get to a decent amount of Sergachev. Might get to double digits from him. But there's a couple punts. Well, there's one punt specifically that I like, which I don't even know if I like that much or if it's just a short sample thing. So we'll talk about him. It's actually in this game. Arizona, Florida, 2.8 implied total for the Coyotes, 3.2 for the Panthers. Aiden Hill and Chris Driedger are your goalies. This was one of those games where when I was going through it, I figured, it might be a low total, but I would like to have both sides of it. And I'm really only getting to one side and one line specifically. So you've got a good price on Florida 1. And, I would be really, really heavy on Florida 1. But I think I'm going to bump them down because I'm not in love with what I think their matchup's going to be, which I think they're going to see a decent amount of time against Dvorak, Hall, and Garland. Not a line they can't do things against, but it's not like if I thought they were going to go up against Soderberg, Keller, and Schmaltz for a ton of time, I would be all over Florida 1. So I still am above the field on them pretty easily right now, so I still like them. They're a line that I feel like I always play a ton of, like when they're priced even in the vicinity of reasonable. So they just generate so many quality chances. So I like them a lot. And then on the other side, Seth, I agree with Seth. Hall, Dvorak, Garland is the line that I prefer on the Coyote side. They don't come up a ton for us in projections if you use our projections, and it's probably because of the low total. But I'll play Taylor Hall when you've got two cheap line mates, Dvorak and Garland. We see Garland has some talent. It's not going to take a lot to get above the field on Arizona 1 either. So that's a line I'm really interested in. And one of the luxuries of having 150 lineups is I can kind of spread out a little bit. We've got pretty low ownership on Garland and Dvorak. Specifically, Hall is going to get some because he's a stud. He's Taylor Hall. As far as defensemen go in this game, it's always the Yandel conundrum, 4,600 for him. He jumps between the third pairing and the first pairing like seemingly every week, and so I can barely keep track of him at this point. 4,600. He is what he is. He's a top power play. If you think Florida 1's gonna have a big game, maybe Yandel has a big game by association. It's a correlation sport, so there's always there's always some merit in playing those guys. But boy, I do not want to play a lot of Keith Yandel tonight. Ekman Larson, 4,500. He's a guy I've been pretty low on, and I don't think tonight's going to change very much for me. So we'll probably miss out on another Ekman Larson game. If he has another good one, I'm playing a decent amount of Riley Stillman for 2,500, just flat min salary. You can go to Strahlman as well. You can go to Matheson as well. I like kind of all those guys. Stillman's the guy who's blocking some shots. Florida gives up a decent amount of shots as well, and he's not going to be owned at all. But I don't think any of these guys are going to be owned at all. So I think I'll probably end up splitting my exposure a little bit more. Right now, it's pretty centered on Stillman. I think I should probably be more responsible and play at least Matheson. Matheson's just a guy I like in general. He shouldn't be priced at 2,500, but a couple punt options on the Florida side. I think, that's good for this game. We gotta move up, get the pace going here a little bit. Islanders, Devils, 2.9 applied total for the Islanders, 2.6 for the Devils. Thomas Greiss and Mackenzie Blackwood are goalies. I have cursed Thomas Greiss. Someone in the show, in the YouTube chat, regularly pointed out that since I said he was good, he's been terrible, and I think that has been the case. So I kind of hope he's terrible tonight because I I get that it's a low total for the Devils, but if you look at just what happened last night for the Islanders, I know it's a way different team they're facing. Like, so they faced Colorado last night at home, and now this is a road back-to-back for the Islanders. This Nelson Lee Eberle line gave up 32 shot attempts, which I didn't even know was possible in terms of like 5-on-5 play for a game. I don't know if natural stat trick was broken or what, but they got destroyed, and the Barzal line more traded chances. So, I don't know what that means. It's a one-game sample. You can't just take that to the bank, but after looking into that, I have some intrigue playing the Devils' really top 6. So no Jesper Bratt for the Devils. That was one piece of news that I caught earlier today. He was not at morning skate, so don't expect him to play. Zajac, Coleman, and Gusev, it's tough to figure out where they're going to go because they're usually going up against top competition. You've got a pretty balanced top 6. I think if it were me, I would probably go them against Nelson and Lee. Nelson's played really well, but it's probably going to be some time against both the Nelson line and the Barzal line. I can't really identify the hard match here. So if there is one, maybe some smarter people can identify that. I think that'd be a pretty good edge tonight, honestly. But either way, I prefer playing some of the Devils' top 6. Like, man, the Islanders give up a lot of shots, but not a lot of quality ones. As Cliffy was saying yesterday on the show, I think you're seeing too low of ownership as far as like, we've got some expensive lines, some expensive defensemen. I think in general the pricing is soft tonight on DraftKings, but you're still going to need some value lines. And I think both of the top 2 lines for the Devils look pretty good to me and aren't owned like you would think a solid filler would be. I guess the top line is owned a little bit, but like Zajac, Gusev, and Coleman have played pretty well together. Let's see if I've got their numbers. I don't think I'm just making that up. I believe I actually looked this up earlier. Yeah. So they've got 220-minute sample, 2.5 expected goals, almost 30 scoring chances, 64.5 Corsi 4 per 60. Those are all numbers that I have no problem with. In fact, those are above average. So, yeah. I mean, in a shutdown role, yeah, it's not optimal when they're on home ice, but they can generate chances. The correlation stinks, but if people play Devils 1 only when they're playing the Devils, I think that's a little bit of a mistake. So, New Jersey 2, I guess. I'm putting my foot down and playing some New Jersey 2 tonight on a 12-game slate. I'm sure Slack chat will not make fun of me for that at all. Defenseman Severson, 3,200. He's got just another value guy that I like. I think there's just a lot of value in the Devils. But since they stink, people won't go there. If I had to choose a line for the Islanders, I said how bad this line was, the Nelson Lee Eberle line last night. They gave up 15 scoring chances too. Like that's really terrible. But that would actually be the line I think I would go to if I was going to one line on the Islanders. So probably contradicting myself. I don't think it's a huge deal to talk about the Islanders anyways. They're not a team I love. Subban has been better lately. He looks more aggressive lately. I've actually watched a couple Devils games. Maybe that's just a bias that I have. But I like Vatanen and Severson. I kind of left Vatanen out, but I don't mind either of those guys for their prices. Vatanen been playing. He got 30 minutes last game, but he's been playing 20, 26, 24 and a half. And so I'm comfortable firing him up for 4,700, especially in the context of a Devils stack. Devils 2 over 1. Blake Coleman is the next Wayne Gretzky. Man, we've had some hot takes in here, but I'm no hockey expert. Certainly not in real life hockey, but Coleman's a solid player. I actually like Coleman, especially for DFS because no one ever plays him. What was I? Devils 2 over 1. Well, Devils 1 is going to project better. However, Devils 2 is like a quarter of the ownership right now. So I like that. And they're cheaper. Then they're going to play similar minutes. So, yeah, you miss out on a little bit of power play time. However, I'll be more overweight on New Jersey 2 if these ownership projections come to fruition. Ottawa, Washington should be a pretty quick one. 2.6 implied total for the Sens, 4 for the Caps. Craig Anderson, unconfirmed. Not sure who else could be. I think Nilsson. I can't keep track of who's hurt. In terms of goalies, Samsonov for the Caps. Caps going to be pretty popular, as they should be. I think they've got a pretty good case to be played over. Caps 1, I think, has a good case to be played over Tampa 1. If you're just playing one lineup, the ownerships are similar, so it's not like you're gaining a huge edge. But people will leave off Wilson, people will leave off Backstrom, and they'll play their OV1 offs. We've seen Backstrom and Ovechkin have big games, and this could easily be a spot where you get 2 or 3 guys in this line that get the 3-point bonus, and that is absolutely massive on DraftKings. So I love the full stack for the Caps. I think if you're power play stacking, that's wonderful as well, including Kuznetsov or Oshie instead of Tom Wilson's always an option, and then seems like about as good of a spot as you could ask for our buddy John Carlson, who's been playing as well as anyone, and he's just going to play with the top 6 the whole game, and he's just a stud. So I have zero issue playing him for 6,900. He's not my highest owned defenseman right now because of ownership. Like, we've got him and Yossi being pretty close together, but you get a little ownership discount on Yossi. So, probably won't be my highest exposed defenseman, but he will be top 2 or top 3. Right now I do have more Caps than Tampa 1, just for reference point. It's pretty close, but like I said, people will leave off the non-Ovechkin skaters on the top Caps line. As far as matchups go here, we're probably going to see Backstrom, Ovi, Wilson go up against Peugeot, Kachuk, and Duclair. Yes, Ottawa's a great matchup, no matter what. But you look at Peugeot, Kachuk, and Duclair this season, and Duclair is expected to play. There was some question about whether or not he was going to. They're giving up 66.8 shot attempts per 60, 13 high danger chances, over 30 scoring chances against. I mean, they're pretty bad defensively compared to, was it Peugeot, Kachuk, and Connor Brown? That's what it was. So Duclair, he's just not good defensively. So it's understandable. But, good matchup for Caps 1 here at 5-on-5, the power play. Pretty simple. Just, I'm playing a lot of Caps. I hope they're my number 1 projected team. I would have no problem saying, yep, Ovi, Backstrom, Wilson, or Ovi, Backstrom, Carlson are my top exposed guys. I think it looks like that good of a spot. Washington 2 is a little bit interesting because I think we might even be a little bit low on them in our ownership projections. They're a line I've heard a lot of talk about. And I get it, right? Like, they're going up against Ottawa. They're cheaper. People think they're being sneaky when they drop down to the second line, and they could certainly go off. They've got more than enough talent. The thing I'm worried about with them is just that their numbers are just really not good. Let me pull these up. Well, I've got all these stack numbers. So if you sort by lines that have at least 30 minutes played together, and that's still a short sample, but a lot of these have 60, 100, 200 minutes together. They have 225 minutes together, and they're allowing 2.7 expected goals, 63 shot attempts per 60, which, isn't a big deal if they were generating that much. So they're generating under 50 shot attempts, 22.3 scoring chances, and just under 9 high danger chances, under 2 expected goals. Like, they're they just have not been good at generating chances. So they grade out really well just on individual basis. The Vrana, Kuznetsov, and Oshie for their prices are all going to project well. So as a line, they project well. But what I'm going to end up doing is probably limiting them to where we have the field at the very least. I don't want to put my faith in a line that's been pretty poor at 5-on-5. And yeah, Kuznetsov and Oshie are in the top power play, but really the top power play is about Backstrom, Ovi, and Carlson, from what I gather, at least. So yeah, it's going to be over on Washington 1, probably going to be at best at the field on Washington 2, and then I will probably be over on Washington 3, actually. It's just more of a thing where I think like the Caps could just absolutely dominate the huge total. People still don't drop down to the third lines. And there are some that are worth playing, and I think Washington 3 is one of those that's worth playing tonight. Lars Eller might be interesting. You like him tonight? I do. 3,900. I think I listed him in the cheat sheets. Those are free on the site, by the way, along with we've got premium stuff, projections, and ownership projections for DraftKings and now FanDuel as well, if you want to check those out. So just another reason to use promo code Hit the Ice to get 50% off your first week of any Osmo Plus weekly package. 2.7 implied total for the Flyers, 3.4 for the Hurricanes. Brian Elliott confirmed. Peter Mrazek not confirmed. This is one where you think you've got a very good grasp on matchups, and so we're going to see Stahl, Svechnikov, Foegele hard matched against Couturier, Giroux, Konechny seems like pretty much a lock. And I'm a little bit torn as far as what to do, because these two lines are, they've both got really good numbers. And when a team is going on the road in Carolina, when a team is going on the road in Philadelphia, sometimes I'll just X them off because I don't want anything to do, at least on a big slate, with lines that are going to get hard matched against either the Couturier line or the Stahl line. So now they're going up together. Flyers will win. You could see that. Yeah, you could definitely see that. Now they're going up against each other. So, yeah, tough matchup for Couturier, Giroux, Konechny. But I think, like, you might even see some people play Stahl, Svechnikov, Foegele. They could get there. They certainly could get there. It's actually not even that bad. So, whatever. I mean, Carolina 1's fine too, but, if we're just talking about a line that might get completely overlooked, I think Philly 1 is that. In a really tough matchup, but they've got great numbers. They're fully correlated on the power play. Carolina has been taking a lot of penalties, so I like taking a couple stabs at Philly 1. Don't really have much interest in Philly 2. Think they're going to really have their hands full with Aho, Niederreiter, and Teravainen, as well as the third line for Carolina, which I think is good. So on the Carolina side, looking to get to a bunch of the Aho line. That's the line I'm prioritizing, as I usually do. I think it's a pretty good spot against Philly 2 and Philly 3 for them. With not great goaltending here, too. Like, Elliott's been shaky, to say the least. Who knows if it's going to be Hart. It's not going to be Hart. Who knows if it's going to be Mrazek or James Reimer. I mean, yeah, I think maybe we see a sneaky shootout here. And I think if the Flyers do outperform expectation, it's going to have to be on this power play, because Carolina seems like they've got a pretty big advantage at 5-on-5. But that could all be shifted if they take penalties like they have so many times this season, whereas Carolina has not taken, or Philadelphia has not taken a lot of penalties this year. And so give me the 5-on-5 spot for Aho, Niederreiter, and Teravainen. Dougie, 6,500. Yes, I'm interested, of course, but he's not at the top of my list. So I'm okay with Dougie. I just don't think that Carolina's going to, on average, have a lot of power play opportunities in this spot. So that's my only worry for 6,500 for him. Let's move it on to the next game, Colorado and the New York Rangers, 3.5 implied total for the Avalanche. You like any depth lines here? I'm assuming you're talking about the Carolina game. Yeah, Carolina 3 if you're going for a flyer. Not a flyer. If you're going for a deep line, I should say. Zibanejad, implied totals. 3.5 implied for the Avs, 3 for the Rangers, Grubauer and Igor Shesterkin. That'll be the last time I say that gentleman's name. Those are your goalies. I don't know how I feel about this game. I think the Rangers are terrible. Well, they are terrible defensively. Like, really, really, really bad. At home, they're a little bit better defensively. Still terrible. But I just thought I would end up hammering McKinnon, Landeskog, and Rantanen. Maybe we get people don't react to last night, and the lineup sites don't update, where you might be able to get an edge playing Rantanen up there. But it looks like they've got it all figured out. They saw what happened last night. It was basically Colorado won for 2/3 of the game. Old Colorado won. So Donskoy was kicked off down with Comfort and Burakovsky, which actually is a pretty interesting line, to be honest. So I don't even mind playing Colorado 3. Colorado 2 is tough to stack just because, it's Kadri, and Shushkin has shown the ability to score some goals lately, playing with some real players. But, man, stacking that full line when you don't even get Kadri on the top power play is tough. So I think I'm more likely to drop down to the third line more often than playing a lot of the Kadri line. Zibanejad, Kreider, Buchnevich, they're just they're my highest exposed line right now. And if you go by the ownership projections, we're showing something different. It's kind of split between the Rangers' top 6 here, and I like the second line too. Don't get me wrong, but for whatever reason, I am playing a lot of Rangers 1. Maybe that'll come down a little bit. Right now, they're my highest owned line by a pretty decent amount, at 7% over the next highest line, which would be Washington 1. But yeah, they look really good to me. From an ownership standpoint, it's not out of control. Matchup standpoint, they might see a little bit of extra time against McKinnon, Landeskog, and Rantanen. Actually, I'm not even sure about that based on what I saw in recent games as far as Rangers matchups. So maybe Rangers kind of roll lines here. It's not like the Zibanejad line's been great defensively. Seems like they don't really trust Buchnevich anyways. So I don't know who they're going to be matched up against, but I do know their ownership looks pretty good. It's just, I love attacking Colorado when they're on the road here. They played last night. They played solid. I think this is probably going to be a shootout, and so it makes me really uncomfortable that I'm not getting to a lot of Colorado 1. I don't really know what it is. I don't know if there's a bug in my sheet, but Landeskog hasn't been generating a lot of high-quality chances this season. His rates are down assist-wise, so I generally have to bump him up to get what I believe is the right amount of Colorado 1, when adding in some of my own stuff along with the projections. So, I'm going to end up getting to 5-10% of Colorado 1. It's here. Let's see where we've got them on our projections, because they should be right up there. I think we're undershooting the ownership on Landeskog and Rantanen. So I'll probably end up manually bumping them up. You guys don't have to. If you think we're right on track, we certainly could be. I'm probably wrong, but we're showing really low ownership for them, and if that's going to be the case, you have to play Colorado 1 and a lot of them. But I think we're were a little bit low on their ownership, maybe a little bit high on Washington 1 and Tampa 1. They're expensive, but outside of them being at home in this spot, I don't know what could be much better. Because like I said, this advantage line has not been great defensively. And let me check quick on the Strome line. Strome line is at, they've been okay defensively. In terms of quality chances allowed, but this is Colorado 1. You don't really need to worry about it that much. So, yeah. Boy, seems like a game that has potential for like 10 goals. Just on first look, guy making his debut, pretty brutal here for the Rangers. The only saving grace is the Rangers are at home. Maybe they get a matchup they like or one that can somewhat slow down Colorado 1. And it is a back-to-back for the Avs. So there's a reason to get off of them, but I don't think that's reason enough for me. No defenseman I'm really digging in this game. I guess you could go to D'Angelo at 4,400 if you're stacking up Rangers 1 or Rangers 2. I like Fox a little bit at 3,500 as another punt option. D'Angelo if you like their power play opportunity. Yep, exactly. I think that's what it is, honestly, because I look at a lot of like all strength stuff just on my own. And so, because I think it kind of encapsulates all the power play stuff as well. Colorado was in the top half of time shorthanded, and they don't have a great kill. So that's why. That's probably why that I'm boosting up Rangers 1 tonight, even though it's a little bit scary because they haven't been great at 5-on-5. Canadiens, Red Wings, 3.3 implied total for Montreal, 2.8 for the Red Wings. Lindgren expected to be the goalie after Price went last night. Bernier, 7,100 for the Red Wings. Just kind of a meh game for me here. Larkin, Bertuzzi, Fabry they haven't done a fantastic job of generating chances. In fact, they haven't done a really good job at all. So I'm kind of lukewarm on them at best. My favorite line, I think, once again here in a Montreal game is Domi, Lehkonen, and Suzuki with no Gallagher up on that top line. Yeah, the Kreider line. Yeah, that's the one I prefer. I like this Montreal 2 line, and I think they're going to see the least time against Larkin, which you could argue is probably a bad thing, but path of least resistance, I suppose. Montreal 2 seems like they should have the advantage over everyone that they go up against tonight, and so that's good enough for me as a multi-entry player. They're just really cheap, and they didn't do super hot last night. Maybe people get off of them that played last night. Maybe they're a little angry at Montreal 2. I'm not angry at Montreal 2. The numbers still look really good offensively, and I'm willing to fire them up on the road in what should be a spot they're going to be decently low owned in. So that's really my thoughts on Montreal here. If you wanted to go to the Kovalchuk, Danault, Tatar line, certainly would not fault you. And then you've got Weber at 7K, Petrie priced up as well at 5,200. Those have been my guys recently, but not tonight. Outside of some maybe like a Montreal 1 stack with Petrie, if you're doing something like that. But other than that, I can't really make a great case for them based on what else we have on the slate. All right, let's go to the next game. Sharks Blues, 2.8 implied total for the Sharks, 3.2 for the Blues. Aaron Dell and Jordan Binnington, those are your goalies. Trying to find something I can play on the Shark side. I don't think I really can. I despise these lines. I shouldn't say I despise these lines. I think you could probably make a case for Goudreau, Kane, and Meyer. It's kind of the Chandler Stevenson thing. Like if you're centering you're centering Pacioretty and Stone and you're cheap, there's probably a case to play you. If you're centering Kane and Timo Meier, you're probably going to be able to generate offensively if you're not just a complete plug. So I think you can play San Jose too. You guys kind of know my thoughts on Marleau being on the top line. It's just bad. Just put LeBanc there. I don't know. They're not giving any of their lines a shot, it seems like. And I think O'Reilly, Perron, and Sanford probably going to see a bunch of time against Couture and Hurdle, with Couture being the clear top center with how they have their lines constructed. And I think they're going to blow them up in this spot more often than not. So you can leave on Sanford. You can leave him in. You can take him off. I think either way is fine. He's the 3K guy. Atkinson didn't play and IFL scored. That's a good point. We were beaten down on IFL pretty good there, and he scored the first goal, and then Atkinson didn't play, so that screwed a lot of my lineups. Really, really, really love the O'Reilly line here. Disappointed to see their ownership being what it is, but I think it's a really fun spot for O'Reilly, Perron. Like I said, Sanford, do with him what you will. But I also really enjoy some Alex Pietrangelo. Top line's okay too, but I think this is a spot where I want to take a bigger stance on St. Louis 2 compared to St. Louis 1, who I only have a couple shares of. Oh man, James Johnson, sorry about that. Yes, that's my name, Shane W. That is my name on DraftKings. Burns, Carlson, they don't correlate to the second line with these guys apparently being listed on the second power play. So I don't have a lot of interest in Burns. I've been bumping up Burns lately, and Carlson to some extent when I think there's good spots. However, I don't think this is a spot. St. Louis has been really tough, really, really tough. Can you take a couple of days off? I guess that's probably a compliment, right? I don't know. I can't. Got to keep that Iron Man streak alive for NHL. Got to get those, 10,000 crowns at the end of the year? Yeah. So got to play every day. The real goods are in platinum chat. Premium chat is what we call it. But Boom's right. Yeah, if you want to join, promo code Hit the Ice is how you get up to 50, or is how you get 50% off your first week of Awesemo Plus weekly packages. Promo code Hit the Ice, that is. If you could give us a like, that would also be really helpful. If you can't afford the package, if you don't want to subscribe, that's understandable. But if you could give us a like on this video, that also goes a long way as well. Let's move it on to the next game. Bruins Preds, 2.9 implied total for the Bruins, 2.7 for the Preds. We have Tuukka Rask and likely Rene going for the Preds. They've had some issues with their goaltending as of late. They've also got a new head coach for this game. Laviolette is gone for the Preds, which is kind of weird. Wasn't really expecting that. But, here we are. Kind of some new lines, I think, since the last time I've been on the show. So Duchesne with Yarncroc and Granlund, Johansson, Forsberg, Arvidsson. We've seen them on and off intermittently. We know the deal with them. And insanely good numbers. Don't seem to go off that much for a line with such good numbers. It's a really brutal spot. Like Boston is a team I respect as much as anyone. Vegas obviously respects them. It's a 5.5 total, but the shade is a little bit to the over. I kind of like Boston if I'm going to one side here. That being said, I don't have, if this game just wasn't on the slate, I would prefer that because there's nothing I really want to play. You get a low on Boston one, you get a low on Nashville one. Those are two lines that are, when they're right, they're elite. So I guess there's some merit in playing them. Maybe you get a penalty happy ref and a power play goal here and there and a full line goal, and now all of a sudden you're cooking. But boy, like if we're gonna see Johansson, Forsberg, Arvidsson against Bergeron, Marchand, Pasternak, which you'd assume that's gonna be the case, well, that doesn't really do anything for me for DFS. So yes, I always talk about playing these lines with fantastic numbers at low ownership, kind of regardless of the matchup. But if they're going to be stuck on each other, man, that doesn't really seem fun on a 12-game slate where we've got Tampa in a great spot and the Caps in a great spot. I think St. Louis is in a really good spot. We've still got some to get to as well, like the Vegas-Pittsburgh game. There's some potential fireworks there as well. So if this game goes off, I will just eat it tonight and move on. But yeah, I don't expect this one to be 5-4 or something like that. Yossi at 7,200, I still think, even though I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, he's probably going to get there with peripherals. It just seems like it happens so often. Plays a ton of minutes. Played over 30 last game. The shots on goal are seemingly always there, whether it's 3 or 6 or 4, blocks. They're here and there. Just has been as consistent as anyone. And 7,200, I have really no problem playing him. So I think you get a nice ownership discount on Yossi compared to Carlson. So did I even get any Johansson lineups? I don't think I did. Yeah, I have none right now. Should I have more than no Nashville here? Let's see. And no Boston. Now I feel like a fish. We don't have them projected for high ownership, but yeah. I don't know. I think I'm going to have more than none. If it's 2% or 3%, 3 stacks at a 150, I feel more comfortable with that, at least on one side here. So one off Yossi, yeah, I think you can one off Yossi, basically always. Let's move it on to the next game. Calgary, Chicago. 3.3 implied total for the Flames, 3.1 for the Hawks. Cam Talbot and Corey Crawford are your goalies. I like attacking Chicago. Kind of the same thing with the Rangers. They're a little bit better at home when you talk about their defensive numbers. Some people don't care about home road splits. I do a little bit. Lindholm, Tkachuk, and Mangiapane is a fine line. I prefer going with Backlund, Gaudreau, and Monahan, centering those two. If I'm playing just one line, I don't know what the matchups are going to be here. We've seen Kane go up against opposing top competition lately. I don't know really what that's about. Like this line, Carpenter, Sakura, and Kane, like they're so bad defensively. No matter what happens, like the Kane line is just always so terrible defensively. So I always want to attack the Blackhawks, but I feel like I can never figure out who's going to go up against who. And here is really no different, especially with Lindholm, Tkachuk on one line and Monahan, Gaudreau on the other. Doc, Zach Smith, Nylander, Gustafson. I don't know. Those are not guys that I'm playing. I guess you could play Doc with DeBrincat and Strome if you're looking to get weird. But for a third line, they're priced at, like, this seems like way too high of a price for a third line. Hawks carved up the Flames last time. Yeah, they did. I'm more on the Flame side here. If I had to choose just one side, it would be Monahan, Gaudreau, and Backlund. But I feel like I cannot figure these two teams out anyways. So if this game goes completely nuts, it looks like there's some ownership in this game as well. And so if this game goes completely nuts, it'll probably not be a great night. But as secondary stacks, I think they're kind of all fine. I think Taze, Kubelik, and Quenneville is actually a little bit interesting for a filler stack. Are you going to update projections again before 7, or are they locked on Osmo? I'll probably update them one more time. Yeah. I'll update them one more time after the show. Even if there's nothing, I'll just do it just for the sake of being thorough. So, yeah, we'll see if anything or any goalies that have changed that I missed. So we'll see. But yeah, I will update them. Geo, just a little bit too expensive for me. I hate it because I love attacking the Hawks, but man, $6,800 for Geo when you can pay a similar price for Yossi or Carlson or Hamilton for that matter, Pietrangelo, Hedman. I think all those guys are better than him. So he's just getting squeezed out for me. Nothing against Geo. Been fine lately. On the other side, Boquist, $3,500. Is he gonna get some steam here? I wonder if he is. No, not really. $3,500, top power play. I suppose you could do that. The minutes are probably gonna be okay as well. And then Connor Murphy, $4,400. Just talk about minutes. He's playing a lot. Not really a punt option, but if there's someone you want to play just for the sake of not being duped for $4,400, Connor Murphy is probably a guy that's okay just based on minutes. Let's go to the next game. How many more do we have? 2? All right, cool. We'll get out of here a couple minutes after. Penguins, Golden Knights, 2.7 implied total for the Penguins, 3.2 for the Golden Knights. Tristan Jarry and Marc-Andre Fleury are your goalies. This is a game I like a lot. I think it'll probably be pretty fun to watch. And once again, I'm just in on Vegas 2. Don't care that Stevenson is the center. I don't really care about the power plays that much with Vegas. Anyways, they've just been elite at even strength. And so I'm fine playing that line against really anyone at this point. I'm in until they go off. And if they never go off and get broken up, well, that's too bad. But it's not going to be for my lack of trying. I just believe that if guys continue to generate chances at the rates that they're generating chances, that they're going to have huge outlier performances more often than other lines that don't generate the same frequency of quality chances. So Vegas 2, my favorite stack in this game when you factor in ownership and projection and all of that. The top lines for both teams are probably going to project a little bit better. 7K Brian Rust is a thing. They're not even that hard to fit in, though, with Cahoon at 2,800. And I would probably just full stack it, honestly, Malkin, Rust. Cahoon, this isn't a Malkin night where I just hammer them. He's running out of good players to play with, but, it's cheap enough as a trio that I'm comfortable playing some pit 1, even in Vegas. Carlson, Marchessault, and Smith. Quick note, Marchessault is a game time decision. So I would treat it like he's going to be in and then swap down if you have to, or maybe go to the second line or do something like that. If you're playing limited lineups and you don't want to wait around until 9:30 Eastern, that's understandable as well. I don't think Vegas 1 is like my favorite spot or anything, but you're probably going to get decreased ownership on Vegas 1 just because of the game time decision. I'm assuming on DK he's probably got a questionable tag. Theodore, 5K. Give me some of that. Not getting to the 5K range a lot tonight. I'm actually getting to, let's see, I'm getting to more Werenski in this range, but Theodore is just a stud. He just has these games where he just looks unstoppable. And 5K, I'm willing to pay the price. He's not going to get Yossi minutes or Dougie peripherals and stuff like that, but I think he's in that next tier of guys for DFS, and he's priced like that. So I am certainly fine with some Shea Theodore. Okay, Blue Jackets, Ducks. But first, fill out this NHL giveaway we've got going on. I want to make sure I mention this before you guys all leave. You can win a free Osmo Plus NHL yearly pass, $280 value. Why not do it? It's completely free to fill out. You just got to retweet, and reply. We've only got 37 people doing this, so your chances of winning this are a lot better than our other giveaways. So if you're interested at all in an Osmo Plus NHL premium pass, yearly pass, why not? Why not give it a go? And maybe just don't guess the guys that everyone's guessing. go off the board. Guess a goalie. That's going to see some volume. NHL Live Blog is going to be free when it is updated. NBA Awesemo's NBA game plan live stream that is usually premium is also free today. We've also got promo codes going on. Promo code 2020, $20 for 20 days of Awesemo plus Platinum. And then the big one, $200 off of Awesemo plus Platinum yearly. So you lock in for the full year, you save $200. So if you're thinking about it, no better time than right now. 20% off. 20% off. Can't beat it. All right, last game. Blue Jackets, Ducks, 2.7 implied total for both sides. Merzlikins and Gibson, those are your goalies. Well, actually, it might not be Merzlikins, but you could put him in and then always swap him out. That's probably what I will do. Getzlaff, Henrique, Sprong line actually played pretty well their last couple games. So I guess if I had to choose a line in the Ducks, it would be them. They're going to grade out okay from a projection standpoint just because they're dirt cheap. They're getting a few percentage points of ownership, which isn't insignificant on a 12-game slate. But yeah, they're going to be a line that some people pair with Colorado 1. So just be aware of what you're doing if you are playing this line. They're not a very high upside line, I don't think. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but yeah, I'm not super excited about playing Ducks 1. I am, we were wrong on Atkinson last night. By we, I mean me and Cliffy, not necessarily you guys. I'm probably, I don't love the spot for Columbus, but if Atkinson's back, I think you might be able to get an edge that way and get him at literally 1% ownership. And then you can adjust the line. So I'm going to do something similar with what I did last night. It appears I need to be done talking for today. And I'll be playing I don't know whether it's going to be a power play stack or whatever with the Blue Jackets, but I'm fine attacking players against the Ducks, especially at low ownership, especially high upside guys like Atkinson at low ownership. So if he's out, I'll just, swap to a power play stack or whatever. I know Columbus power play doesn't really get you going on a 12-game slate, especially on the road with a low total. But it's something that I think is worth it tonight, especially when you've got Werenski at 5,400, who I actually like quite a bit, as I mentioned earlier. On the Duck side, it's ugly. It's really ugly. Where's the other guy who called the Edmonton Contrarian? Cliffy? I don't think he called Edmonton Contrarian. I think he said you're going to get a lower owned McDavid than you should get. So, all right. Gerby, he looked good. Yeah, I wasn't sweating it, but that's good to hear. I mean, I would guess he gets bumped, probably, or I don't even know. Milano maybe gets bumped. I'm not sure, but who knows? Set yourself up for some late swap opportunities here with Atkinson. That would be my advice, because I think they were worried about the back-to-back, but obviously no back-to-back. Tonight they're playing on a back-to-back, but he didn't play last night, so they can't really talk about the back-to-back tonight. I think you've got a better chance that he comes back with another whole day. So shout out to Yahoo Daily Fantasy Sports. Thank you for being our presenting sponsor. Go over and support them. You guys, that would help us. They support us, so we should repay the favor. Once again, take advantage of this promo we've got going on right now and all of our promo codes. New Year's is a promo code. 2020, New Year, singular, is a promo code. 2020 is also a promo code. You can read about those there. If you could drop us a like, that would be very much appreciated. Helps us continue to do this kind of content for free. Thank you guys for stopping by, and good luck tonight.